That's kind of what the Cyclones did. That's very fitting.
Oh, wait a minute.
Played.
It's time to
started the game. Okay.
It's time to do the show. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me turn down my TV. Let me put away the whiskey. Kidding. I did just pour a beer for this halftime show.
Hey, I did.
Hey, what do you got there, Brett? I couldn't do the Cody Road. It's too early in the day. That'd be a disaster.
I have no idea. Whatever this is, it's a little. Just a hazy IPA. I don't know.
Good for you. This is Shiner Cheer.
Yeah,
because tis the season.
There you
right?
go.
Yep. Thanks to Des Moines Eye Care, Nebraska Furniture Mart, and Karl Chevrolet. I didn't even do my hair for you guys. Normally I do. That was a really bad first half, Brett. Like, that was really, really terrible. I'm not that smart of a guy. I fully admit that. I'm just a hack on here normally. I loved this matchup coming in for Iowa State. And granted, there's still a lot of football left to play. Iowa State gets the ball back. I'm not at all thrown in the towel yet. But, man, is the words no-show too much? I mean, what do you think happened there in the first half, man?
I mean, Texas Tech can be one of those places where it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not extremely familiar. And, this is a team who fired their coach early in the season. The new coach was announced this week. It's some high school coach who's hooting and hollering at his press conference. So I think in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, these guys are going to be distracted beyond, anything. And then they come out and they got a new kid. This kid's first start, they said, or just a freshman?
First start. He's never played before.
4 incompletions, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 219 rating. Like, we gotta, and who knows? Maybe we heat him up a little bit here. But he's elusive. He can run. He can move a little bit. He's a good player, but by no means we're making him look, I think, a heck of a lot better. And who knows? Maybe this is the new coach is tired. Like, yeah, I want to see if this kid can play. Put him in. So who knows? But yeah, not very, very flat, very defensively, 31 points against, it's pathetic. And offensively, this is a team that's given up 70 to Texas and over 50 points twice. So for us to only have 14, and basically our offensive line non-existent, it is very frustrating, and it's happening too often lately. Yeah, they had not been playing well.
Well, because the first half last week, I was frustrated, and I fired off a tweet that I thought that the offensive line is average to below average, and I finally gotten to the point in the season where I thought that, and they played well in the second half, but I also think Texas kind of quit in that football game, which our guys forced them to do that, so I'm not taking it away. But there's just no push, man. Like, there's none, and like, listen, Brock isn't Aaron Rodgers, but it seems like he's under duress more often than not. Brees, I'm telling you, and I'm going to do the math this week. I haven't done it, but if you would take away like the long breakaway runs that he's had over the last month, I would guess his yards per carry is under 3. There's just not a lot there. And I think the offensive line was totally overhyped going into the season. And that's disappointing because I thought that would be the place where they really took a step forward.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, a lot of those big runs are just schemed, right? Not just in the flow of the game. And because you've seen them early in games where it's our first 15 that are scripted, or, coming off of out of a timeout or a stoppage, and, whatever. So we need to be able to just run the ball within the flow of the game. And we can't do that right now. And we're not good enough in the pass game right now to just drop back and be able to throw it. We have to be able to get you don't have to be mauling people and you just need to get push and give. Brees is good enough to where if you get him a seam, he breaks it, he scores more often than not. So we have to be able to do that more than in a scripted setting, and do it more than once a game. We just got to be able to give him chances, and we'll make our adjustments on defense. I would not be surprised if Texas Tech ends this game with 31 points. We've seen that before, but who knows? We've also seen it go the other direction. West Virginia, we couldn't get stops. So
my only concern is Will McDonald. Now, he was back out there at the end of the first half, and Rose is what Matt Campbell says on a pitch count. So I'm with you. First time starting quarterback, you would think that there would be some good defensive adjustments, but I got burned on that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but we've seen it enough, though. I wouldn't say you get burned on it. It's something that's happened a bunch, so
True.
you should
Yeah,
expect
I mean,
that. But
it happens like 90% of the time. So
yeah, so I would say our secondary, and they got some receivers that have made some plays, but we just got to stop getting beat. I know that sounds pretty basic and simple, but and maybe we don't seem to play a ton of man, but I think if we just, especially against this young guy, man, if we just sit back and he's got 8 or 9 whatever eyes on him, like that's hard to play quarterback and just sit back there and be patient. So, but then again, if they're able to run it, I don't know what their running stats are for the first half, but so yeah, I think defensively as a whole, we just got to play better.
They're averaging 5.9 yards per rush, so clearly,
well, yeah. I mean, that's more than good enough. I mean, anything over 4 is a win. So.
What is it about? I like when you guys played like back that 2004-05 seasons. Like I'm haunted by these first time starting quarterbacks. Do you remember the guy from Kansas in 05, Brian Luke? Came in and
Chase Daniel. We gave
Chase
him his
Daniel.
nice.
What is like?
Not
is
Brad
it,
Smith? I don't think.
Yeah, but like, what is it about these guys? Like, are they just too inexperienced to know? Because we saw Caleb Williams do that, and then people got some film on him, and he got benched today, right? Like, what is it about these quarterbacks that are just thrown out there that they seem to have success? This happens a lot in college football.
Yeah, I think it does. I think, like to your point about not having film on a guy, but then it's pretty easy to play quarterback when you're, all these offenses are very quarterback friendly, right? I mean, it's bubble screens, it's one-on-one throws, it's, check at the line, coaches calling plays for you. So like there isn't and Texas Tech is running the plays in from the sideline. So like Sonny Cumbie's telling them what to do. Probably it's almost like having like the NFL, the quarterbacks have mics in their helmets. So it's an easy position to play right now because of the way offenses are, but then and you don't have any scar tissue. I'm going to bet that Caleb Williams is probably in a similar spot to where Spencer Rattler is now, where he's had some adversity and it's going to be harder to play because it's just not all positive. So, and then a lot of these quarterbacks now are much better and more prepared coming into college than they were in my era because they've been working with quarterback coaching since they were 12 years old, and it's just I think the position's coached better. But yeah, to your point, it's just there's a lot of first timers that come in and play well, and hopefully we show them something different in the second half, and that can kind of throw them off a little bit.
Honestly, though, the stat of the day to me, I know Brees has 2 touchdowns, but the fact that Iowa State has only run for 32 yards, this team is terrible against the run, statistically. I mean, they're ranked 92nd nationally in average yards per attempt by the opposition. And Iowa State can't run the ball. I mean, Brees had the 17-yarder, but other than that, like there's been absolutely nothing by Iowa State's running game. And it is massively disappointing.
It's extremely disappointing. We have the best running back in the country. I mean, I just saw a list. Todd and I talked about this in the pod where, Mel Kiper had him ranked as the number 1 running back coming out this year, ahead of Kenneth Walker, ahead of all those guys. So, I mean, he is probably he's one of the best in the country. We got to give him opportunities, but as a staff and the coaches, we got to be honest about where our offensive line is. In terms of if we need to make changes, and I know they have throughout the year, we got to figure out how to get better up front because this team is locked and loaded. Every position is deep, experienced, and really good, and that's one of the most important positions on the field. Doesn't matter what level you're playing at. If you can't run the ball, even in college football today, and especially the way we play, you got nothing. And we're seeing it right now in the first half, and it's extremely frustrating.
All right. Well, basketball won last night, I guess.
Hey, I'm fired up. TJ's got him going defensively, locked in. Who's the guy? I don't learn our guys until like the conference season, but we got
watch it now because I don't know if conference will be that fun. So this is the time to watch.
Well, it's like a new roster every year. Ever since like George and those guys left, it's like just turning it over. But no, it looks like Hilton's.
It was great last night.
So that's good.
Yeah. It was
fun to watch.
It was great. All right. Second half. I mean, you got to go down and score. I mean, you feel like you got to turn this kid over. The problem I have is, I mean, doesn't Tech averaging 6 yards per carry with a running quarterback? You'd think they may work a little clock even. It's too early to do it right away, Brett, but What do you ratchet up the pressure? Because again, like I don't know about. I mean, how healthy is Will McDonald? How healthy is Mike Rose right now? Like, how do you? If we're gonna pull this thing off, it feels like, man, let's force the young quarterback into turnovers. But I don't know how much Sonny Cumbie he's not gonna throw it 18 times this half, right?
No, I think this is going to be, to your point, running the play clock down, run it on first and second down, and then be selective in where you're throwing the ball. Because the way we get back into this game, obviously offensively, is doing something, but defensively is getting a turnover or two, turnover on downs, whatever it is, and then win some field position. So yeah, this first possession is going to be real important, and I'm honestly for just coming out and just chucking it, like go. I know we like to have our tight ends on the field, and Charlie's important in the pass game, but I say spread them out and let's throw it a little bit, and then we get some personnel we want, and then maybe give Brees an opportunity. But yeah, because right now the run game, it's 2nd and 10 all day if we run it on first down.
I will give a lot of credit to Tech too, though, man. Like you lose I thought it was disrespectful to the players to fire Matt Wells at 5-3. Even if you're going to fire him, like to me, it sent a message that this year doesn't matter to those guys who have worked through camp and all that stuff. But I give them a lot of credit. That's hard for those guys. And they certainly look like the team that wants it more. I hate saying that because I know how hard all the guys train, but like Tech is playing.
It's the truth.
Tech's playing really hard. And that's a tough deal for them when you lose your coach. A new guy gets introduced. He's out there doing these chants, and you've still got to play. Brett, that's difficult. I give those guys a lot of credit.
Yeah, I think it could go one of two ways, right? You can become distracted, or you know who your coach is, and you want to be able to show him and prove to him that your starting spot is secure, or just put good film out there. And that's kind of the way they went. And kudos to Sonny Cumbie and these kids for doing it. But yeah, we should win this game. This is on us. I don't think whatever they do, if they're motivated, not motivated, doesn't matter. We're a better football team. We got a better roster, obviously a better staff. Like we should be in a much better position, and we'll see if we can figure it out.
All right, brother. Appreciate you. Oh, when do you got your Hall of Fame next week? You gonna be able to make it, or the baby gonna?
We're supposed to have like a scheduled C-section on Monday, which is the 22nd. So, Karina was like, you can go ahead and go if she wants me to go, but we'll see. I mean, the baby could come early. We could have it as early as Wednesday, but we're kind of on baby watch, and they've been good. The guy at for the Iowa High School Association was just like, just let us know. We can always do it next year. So,
okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But it's fun time, obviously, as you know, the
That's
anticipation
awesome,
of the baby. But yeah.
Yeah. All right, Brett. Appreciate you. Matt Van Winkle producing as always. Cheers, everybody. Let's go get them in the second half. I'll have instant reaction right after the game. Jared and Rob will have the post-game show, and hopefully we'll have like an epic comeback to talk about. All right. Later. Appreciate y'all. Have a good night.